Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth, as is every night, is going to be Tim Henderson. Tim, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself, buddy?
Doing absolutely fantastic. We are signed in for action here at the Knoxville Raceway with the Reigel Promotions Esports 360 Division Harvest Cup for the next round of racing. It looks like about 19 drivers signed in here for action. 18 of them have taken a time in the practice session. Dane Culver quickest so far with a lap of 15:05. Justin Osborne there on the left-hand side of the screen at a 15:12. Matt Grimm third quickest at a 15:14. Again, we want to thank each and every one of you tuning in here tonight. Let us know out there in the chat drivers you're rooting on, pulling for here tonight. We always enjoy seeing those messages come across the screen. Practice session wrapping up now, and you see some calamity there into turn one at the end of practice. We're going to roll into two Fat Guys Sim Racing Promotions qualifying. Here's a single car. I think they get, no, I don't think. They get 2 laps of qualifying. So we'll see who decides to head out onto the racetrack first. 5 minutes on the clock, so drivers have 5 minutes to head out onto the racetrack. Remington Wade, one of the first drivers to roll on to the racetrack in the number 77 machine. Caden Berry here in the number 12. He's got that car wound up around the top side of the racetrack. Justin Young says, when racers take the song, I wish I could fly too, literally. I agree with you. That's a good way to put it. Lap 1 going to go in the books for Caden Berry. Let's see what he runs there. Top of the board for now at a 15:81. Remington Wade a 15:82. Jeremy Christensen comes across at a 15:81. There's Chase Porter just flashed across at a 15:78. Dane Culver now 15:71. Lap 2 for Caden Berry. Is he able to improve? And does to a 15:75. On lap 2, puts him at second quick. Here's Dane Culver rounding out of turn 4 across the line. And he's just a touch slower on lap 2. Flying Fred just popped up to 6th quick at a 15:82. Michael Scurring came across the line at a 15:96. Here's Ernie Williams Jr. now just heading out of the pit area, gassing it up out of turn number 2. Brandon Matson, Matt Grimm, Ty Dickinson all on the racetrack as well. Qualifying effort started for Ernie Williams. Ty Dickinson's first lap at a 15:90, 12th quick. Brandon Matson a 15:92, 14th quick. Lap 1 for Ernie Williams. We watched it live. Let's see what he runs here. A 15:75 all the way up to second fastest for now. Brandon Matson a 15:80, lap 2. Matt Grimm a 15:82, 9th quick on lap 1. Lap number 2 for Ernie. Was he able to improve? And does a little bit to a 15:72. Going to stay second quick, though, for now. Jack Burke in the blue and white machine as he comes out of turn number 4 to complete his second lap. His first lap was a 15:89. His second lap, a 15:88, puts him 14th quickest. Matt Grimm finishes up his qualifying effort with a lap time of 15:77 in the 4th spot. Looks like only one driver has not taken a time, and that would be Jimbo Rooney in the 27 machine. There's still 2 minutes to go in our qualifying session. We'll see if he heads out onto the racetrack. Tim, we know you took part in tonight's 305 Harvest Cup that just concluded just a little bit ago. Any interesting notes or takeaways you had from the racing action earlier here at Knoxville?
If the track goes away the same that it did earlier, slider line will be the quickest. I feel like early on we're going to see single file around the outside. We could see a couple guys dive down and try and get a couple passes once we get a couple laps in. So it's just going to be who is going to be most aggressive the quickest.
Tim, you have a big fan out there in the chat. Ty Dickinson says he loves him some Tim Henderson. So you have a big fan out there. We want to thank Ty Dickinson for being a big fan of Tim Henderson. Jimbo Rooney completes his qualifying effort. That's going to wrap up qualifying. He was able to run a 15.82 and slots in 10th for now. So it looks like Dane Culver will be tonight's quick qualifier with a lap time of a 15.71. So congrats to Dane here tonight. See, Tim, I think you're getting more fans than me. They see you taking part in some racing action now, and you're becoming very popular amongst the other drivers.
I wouldn't say popular. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
I think so. Again, folks,
like
let him show Tim some love out there in the chat. He deserves it. And that.
Show some love to Tyler. He deserves it more than me. He's the one that puts on the show.
Yeah,
I'm just here in the background.
We do the best we can here on the Buckeye Racing Network. We certainly have a lot of fun putting on these shows for everybody at home and supporting the leagues that we broadcast each and every week. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the first heat of the night. Row number 1 will be Dane Culver and Caden Berry. Row 2 will be Chase Porter and Craig Silby. Row 3, Jeremy Christensen and Flying Fred. Row 4 will be Derek Patetti and Jack Burke. Row 5, Ty Dickinson and Michael Scurring. Tim has the Riz. It has been spoken in the chat. All right, I think I've seen it all tonight. Oh, well, you know, we like to have fun. That's what it's all about, to laugh and joke a little bit. It's the best part of life. We got some racing action, though, ready for us. I don't think we got to worry about any transfers with 19 cars signed in for action, so nobody has to worry about racing their way into the feature here tonight. So we're going to have, looks like 2 heat races, 8 laps apiece. And we will not have to have a B main here tonight. We'll roll into a warm-up session and then into feature action after that. Dane Culver, Caden Berry, row 1. Culver in control for the start of this heat race. Pace truck peels off. Dane Culver accelerates instantly. Green flag in the air, and he gets a great shove. Down the front straightaway into turn 1. Chase Porter slides right across the nose of Caden Berry. Caden Berry says, I'm going to turn back underneath you and get back into the second spot down the back straightaway. Chase Porter in third. Craig Silby right behind him in fourth. Single file through the field until we get back to Michael Scurring and Derek Patetti side by side into turn 1. Scurring on the outside prevails. Patetti falls back to 9th. Culver with a couple car length advantage over second place running Caden Berry, who's followed closely behind by the Chase Porter machine as well as Craig Silby right there. But there's a lot of speed in this racetrack still. A lot of momentum. These drivers know it's very momentum based right now. So no mistakes, hold a very pretty wheel because the speeds are really high. Oh, look at the run of Chase Porter out of turn 2 down the back straightaway and into turn 3. He's just going to slide up just a bit. He's going to take that second spot again. He had that momentum. I think Caden Berry tried to run the bottom the last time through 1 and 2, and he slots back just 1 spot. Craig Silby had a peek to the inside of Berry as well, but nothing doing that time. He's going to drive it hard into the inside into 3 and slide up again. He's got to be careful, though, because he's got Flying Fred right behind him. Fred's going to go to the outside. Silby down to the inside. Caden Berry He tried a little bit of a slider on Porter for a second. It didn't work out. Porter crossed him over down the back straightaway and into turn 3.
Yeah, I think that slider line works the best in 1 and 2. I couldn't get a feel for it in 3 and 4. Again, I was in the 305. These guys are much more talented in the 360s than I am, so let's see what they can do.
Absolutely. White flag already in the air for Dane Culver. He's led all 8 laps. Caden Berry going to try to slide across Chase Porter's nose, and Porter crosses him over into turn 3. But up front, Dane Culver rounds out of turn 4. Oh, heavy contact. Dane Culver is going to win Heat 1. Chase Porter will be second. Craig Silby comes across the line in third. Flying Fred fourth. Michael Skirring fifth. I think let's go back and see exactly.
Had a hard hit to the outside wall as well.
Let's see exactly what happened to Caden Berry. We'll keep an eye on that green and blue 12th machine. You see Porter enters into turn 3. Underneath of him, there was nothing wrong there. That was clean. Craig Silby all the way down low, and Caden Berry tried to actually, I guess, maybe turn down to get a better exit off of 4, and Silby was there, and there was the contact. So, unfortunately, heavy contact for Skirring and Berry to end heat race number 1. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for our second and final heat of the night. Row 1 will be Ernie Williams Jr. and Matt Grimm. Row 2 will be Remington Wade and Brandon Matson. Row 3, Jimbo Rooney and Justin Osborne. Row 4 will be Scott Thomason and Nick Larry. And row 5 will be Brian Kling. Nine drivers to start heat race number 2. 291s on the front row. Ernie Williams and Matt Grimm.
Kind of like that Spider-Man meme, except it's with the number 91.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait, you? You are me, I am you. Yeah, absolutely. They're on the front row. Row 2, Remington Wade and Brandon Matson. Who was the winner in the 305 race earlier, Tim?
I can tell you in like 2 seconds. It was James Rooney, who led the last 2 laps and finished ahead of Gary Steele, Brian King, David Flanagan, and Corey Denson round out the top 5 in the 305.
Yeah, Jimbo Rooney starting 5th here in this second heat. We take the green flag. We're underway. We'll keep an eye on him and see if he's able to work his way forward. But Ernie Williams Jr. is going to lead the way through 1 and 2. Uh-oh, contact right there. Matt Grimm, Brandon Matson. I think they touched wheels out of turn 2. Grimm's back to 4th. 2nd to 4th lap 1. Oh, and Matson, I think, got a little bit loose there through 3 and 4, and Grimm filled the spot on the outside. Let's see what happens here as Grimm has the momentum. Matson down low. Let's see if he decides to slide up. Going to try to fill the gap. Grimm has to jump out of the throttle and keep from hitting the 21 machine of Matson. That was a very close call. Justin Osborne down low takes a peek underneath our 305 winner earlier tonight. Jimbo Rooney there in the 27. Back up front, Ernie Williams Jr. is trying to pull away as it's just a 0.3 of a second advantage back to the 77 machine of Remington Wade. I think Remington tapped the wall, looked like there, Tim.
Yeah, it jumped sideways on him like he just clipped the wall just a little bit. Allows Brandon Matson and Matt Grimm to pull up to the tail tank of that 77 machine.
Absolutely. I think we're going to have a 3-car battle for second. Matson going to try a slider.
So close.
And the 77 had to try to avoid him, and the car gets junked because of it, and that's going to bring the caution flag out. Unfortunate there. These speeds are so high. These drivers are pushing as hard as they can. to move forward. We'll go back and take another look at this. Keep an eye on the 77 and 21 machines. See the 21 drive hard down to the inside, and he's going to slide up the racetrack trying to pull the slider on the 77. The 77 has to move up the hill, and he just taps the outside wall, and trying to save it, he makes more contact with the 21, and that just sends his car directly to the right and into that steel barrier, and he goes for a ride down the front straightaway. Yeah, these high speeds, crazy stuff can happen in just a split second. There's drivers trying to pull off sliders. Remember, there's no mirrors in this series, no virtual mirrors. So when drivers perform a slide job, they're putting faith and trust in their ability as well as the driver behind in some shape or form to allow the slider to happen, or they have to be clear enough to perform it. And I don't think Matson was quite clear as he slid up. It was very close as he was, moving up the racetrack there. So unfortunate for Remington Wade is he had to bring his car into the work area, but he is going to head back out onto the racetrack to rejoin for the conclusion of the second half of this heat race.
Yeah, I second that. The no mirror, that's difficult. You don't know where anything is at all. That's tough.
Absolutely. Pace truck peels off. Ernie Williams Jr. hits the gas. We are back under green flag conditions. Williams going to move to the top side. Matson's going to follow him through. Same goes for Matt Grimm. Now they all kind of drop down low. Matson gets a little squirrely, dropping really low, and that costs him some speed, and now he's going to have to fend off the charge from Matt Grimm and Justin Osborne as well as Jimbo Rooney right there.
Yeah, Justin Osborne shot out of a cannon. He was running the bottom line the last couple of laps since the restart. There's maybe a little contact with him and Rooney going into turn one. Matt Grimm's going to take a peek to the inside as he's going to slide just in front of the 22 machine of Brandon Matson.
That was the checkered flag there. Ernie Williams Jr. wins Heat 2. Brandon Matson, and then Matt Grimm second and third. Justin Osborne fourth. Jimbo Rooney fifth. There, that's the top five in Heat Race number 2. 5 minutes on the clock for our warm-up session. The admins want the drivers to head out on the racetrack and run it in some, so we'll see if they let the full 5 minutes go here tonight. But in the meantime, folks, we're going to step aside for just a few moments to get a word from our sponsors over at Premier Racing Setups. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back in. Warm-up session coming to a close, just a couple minutes short. Admin Sync the track is ready to go. We'll take a look at our starting lineup here for our feature of race. On the front row, it's going to be Matt Grimm and Craig Silby. Row 2, Brandon Matson and Chase Porter. Row 3, Ernie Williams Jr. and Dane Culver. Row 4 will be Flying Fred and Justin Osborne. Row 5 will be Michael Scurring and Jimbo Rooney. Row 6 will be Derek Patetti and Scott Thomason. Row 7 will go to Ty Dickinson and Remington Wade. Row 8, Jeremy Christensen and Brian Kling. Row number 9 will be Caden Berry and Nick Larry. And row 10 will have one driver, and that'll be Jack Burke. "30 laps the distance here, as we do each and every race. Tim Henderson, who is going to be your driver to watch here?
Well, there's about how many cars? There's about 19 cars that can go out here and win this race. You got to keep your eyes out for Ernie Williams, Matt Grimm, Justin Osborne, many more. I'm gonna keep my eye on that last driver that I said in Justin Osborne. I think he's been able to run the bottom really well, and I think he can use that to his advantage here.
Absolutely, I like the pick. I think I'm going to go with the driver of the other 91 machine, scored as 17 on our screen, Ernie Williams Jr. He's starting in the 6th spot. Up front, Matt Grimm, Craig Silby, 1 and 2. Pace truck will peel off this time. Green flag is in the air. We are ready to go. Rocking and rolling for 30 laps. Grims leads the way through 1 and 2. Craig Silby, Brandon Matson just behind. And then it's going to be Chase Porter and Ernie Williams Jr. Ernie Williams up on the top side. Porter runs through the middle.
Jimbo Rooney doing a wheelie off the right rear of, I believe that was Justin Osborne. I think we also had a wreck a little behind that as well.
I think so too. We're going to go back and take a look at this. Keep an eye on the 19 machine, or excuse me, 17 machine of Jack Burke working the inside. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's go back and try that again. Keep an eye on the 17 machine on the inside, as he is underneath the 16 of Christensen. And I believe that's Nick Larry on the outside. It is. Larry Christensen tap wheels, and Christensen goes down and taps Jack Burke. Burke goes down, hits the inside wall, and goes for kind of a wild ride on the inside wall. Car pops over the barrier, so I think the left front has pretty severe damage. He's going to have to bring it to the attention of his crew in the work area.
This yellow also helps out that number 11 machine of well, it's the number 9 in the sim. In our scoring, it's listed as the 11. Ty Dickinson had an issue with his pedals becoming unplugged, so this yellow helps him out. See if he can move his way forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting from the pits is definitely not much of a help, but an early yellow was allowed him to get back out and rejoin the field. Lights out on the pace truck this time for Matt Grimm. Tim, how about you get us going for this restart?
Alrighty, the pace lights are off. We're gonna cruise right by the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Say hello to the fans on the backstretch who came out here. And Matt Grimm is going to pace through 3. The pace truck is going to take off here shortly. And Matt Grimm is going to fire away. Everyone fanning out as they come out of 4. Matt Grimm gets a great launch ahead of the 7 machine of Craig Silby as the 21 just barely touches the wall. That is Brandon Matson. Ernie Williams Jr. just behind him as he slides.
Heavy contact. Silby in the outside wall, and he is, I think he collects the 77 of Remington Wade as well. Absolute crazy accident down the front straightaway from the 7 machine getting loose out of turn 4. I think there was more involved than him just getting loose. We're going to go take a quick peek at this. So it looks like Silby was running the middle through 3 and 4. He tries sliding up in front of the 21 of Matson. Matson had a ton of momentum and actually tags the tail tank of Silby. Silby goes into the outside wall and gets turned on his side. You see Culver makes pretty heavy contact with Silby as well down the front straightaway. And the rest of the field tries to split. Jimbo Rooney, Fred Hoffman, and then Remington Wade just had nowhere else to go as he was committed where he was. And Silby just trying to get the car out of harm's way as best as he could there. But unfortunate for Remington Wade to be collected in that as well. Some early craziness here tonight to start our feature event, already on our second caution. In 3 laps. We'll see how these drivers decide to navigate the end of this. Again, admin's trying to allow at least 2 minutes in the work area for drivers trying to head back out as Remington Wade is coming up on the 2-minute mark now. Unsure if he'll be able to rejoin or not.
Remington Wade is coming out of the pits right now. He'll be able to rejoin the rest of the pack at the tail end with Craig Silby.
So both drivers involved in the latest incident have rejoined at the tail. Updated top 5 running order: Matt Grimm, Brandon Matson, Ernie Williams Jr., Chase Porter, and Justin Osborne. 3 drivers tied with the Hard Charger Award as of the moment. Brian Kling, Caden Berry, Nick Larry, all up 5 in 3 laps. Matt Grimm in control, waits just a little bit, steps on the gas. We're back under green flag action. Down at turn 1, Matson's going to try to slide up the hill and block off Ernie Williams Jr. Chase Porter tries to turn it underneath Ernie Williams to make something happen into 3. He might try to go 2 for 1. Not quite. Ernie Williams had to turn underneath of Porter in the 21 machine. That was crazy out of turn 4, and they survived through it. A little bit further back, Justin Osborne in 5th, Michael Skirring 6th, and there's a crazy battle. Skirring and Derek Patetti tangled together, and Skirring goes for a wild ride down the back straightaway, and he ends up on his lid into turn number 3. I think Jimbo Rooney got a piece of that as well. We'll go back and take another look at this. Keep an eye on the 07 of Skirring and the 41 of Patetti there in the black and gold colors. Out of turn 2, I think Skirring tried to close closer to the outside wall, but Patetti was there. Both cars into the outside wall. Jimbo Rooney nowhere to go. Just an innocent bystander in that. Looks like he's able to continue going forward, and then you see the wild ride that Skirring went for in that 07 machine. So in the work area, Nick Larry in the 43, Michael Skirring in the 07, Flying Fred in the 13, Remington Wade, the 77, Dane Culver in the 4, and Brian Kling in the 15, all at the attention of their crews. As we look through the field, Caden Berry, hard charger now, +7 from his starting spot, now into the top 10. So Caden Berry has cracked the top 10. He's going to be looking for more spots here once we get back under green. I believe he's actually further ahead than that, as I'm showing 3 cars in the pit area scored in front of the leader. So I believe Caden Berry is actually in the 7th spot. So make him +10.
It'd be +10, yeah. He's moving on up there. He's almost, what, 2 cars or 2 positions a lap so far in the race, just about.
Absolutely, slowly but surely making his way towards the front. Pace truck peels off. Single file restart here. Green flag is back in the air. Not sure what was going on. Justin Osborne chased Porter. Porter was down low from everybody else on that restart, but it looked like they figured it out. Justin Osborne takes a peek all the way down to the inside. Let's see what happens down there as he passes the 21 of Porter. He's going to look to move a little further ahead, and he might try to take the spot from Ernie Williams, but Williams with the momentum on the outside is going to hold on to the 3rd spot for now. Greg Silby charging back through the field. He's now up into the 8th spot as he just went around the 6th machine of Scott Thomason. Go ahead, Tim.
Caden Berry is following that 0 machine of Justin Osborne, who just completed the pass for 3rd. He now elects to run up high in front of Ernie Williams. Ernie Williams slides right back underneath. They're dead even going into 3. Ernie slides back up in front of Justin. Justin peeks to the inside, not enough momentum.
And Ernie's still going to try that middle lane, but I'm telling you, they got to keep an eye on the 12 machine of Barry. Barry's on the inside, and he is making his way forward. Barry into the top 4 now, +13 on the night. Justin Osborne trying to follow him through. My goodness, that's close. Whew. I think Osborne probably had to jump on the binders just a little bit to keep from spinning out the 12 machine of Barry. And we have a slower machine of Dane Culver on the inside, and the top wing is off of that race car, so he's just trying to salvage whatever he can here in these closing laps. But a great battle here inside of the top 5.
A little bit of that convertible action. He's got the top down, not right now.
Absolutely. Top down and just a cruising around Knoxville. Interesting to see. Most of the drivers are committed up on the top side, but I'll tell you, Caden Berry in the 12, Justin Osborne in that 0 machine. Both have had some success down low, and they're going to remain down there.
Ernie looks to the inside. He's going to slide up in front of Matson as Matson goes all the way to the bottom off the exit.
Yeah, field spreading out just a little bit. We'll keep an eye through the field. as I believe we do have some battles back here. Flying Fred, Ty Dickinson side by side. That's a battle for the 12th spot. Flying Fred down low, Dickinson running the outside. You would think Dickinson with the momentum would prevail, but Fred's holding tough down low. Now Dickinson does prevail, and he moves into 12th, Flying Fred back to 13th. Quick check back up front. Ernie Williams, Caden Berry, Matt Grimm. Three-way battle for the lead. Grimm crosses over Ernie Williams down the back straightaway. Grimm holds on to the lead for now. Caden Berry still committed all the way down on the inside. Ernie Williams through the middle. He's going to kind of maybe play a little bit of a blocker and make it a little harder for Berry to get around, but I'm telling you, Berry's so strong on the inside. He is making it work down there. Matt Grimm staying committed to the outside. I think Grimm and Williams are going to have to adjust their line as they come across the lap machine of Culver once again to put him another lap down. 10 laps to go.
There was a big battle between, the 77 just ate the inside wall there. Remington Wade made contact with, I believe it was the 6th machine on the back stretch, Scott Thomason. And Remington Wade just kept it going and then finally wrecked on the exit of 4.
Well, so there's definitely stuff going all over on this racetrack. 8 laps to go at the line. Matt Grimm still holding on for now. Caden Berry into second. Ernie Williams had a little bit of a hiccup in 1 and 2. That caused him to lose the second spot, and he falls back to third. Meanwhile, Osborne and Matson 4th and 5th. They are battling it out. Then there's a little bit of gap back to 6th place position, Chase Porter, and a little bit of a gap back to 7th, Craig Silby. All eyes on this battle up front, though, as we come across the line. 4-6 laps to go. Now you see Grimm kind of adjusting his line to take a little bit lower entry into these corners. Caden Berry still right up against the berm on the inside. Ernie Williams Jr. all the way up on the cushion on the outside. Caden Berry to the lead with 5 laps to go. Now that he's there, is he going to be able to stay there? Go ahead.
As you say, if Matt Grimm can get by, does he play a little blocker line here as Caden Berry charges out in front to the lead? Ernie Williams takes over second as he jumps the...
I think he jumped the cushion, and
yeah,
that will bring the caution flag out. Oh, my goodness. Ernie Williams had a very aggressive move down in turn 1. Matt Grimm, I think, car got loose and he was wheel spinning out of turn 4, and that's why he lost so much momentum. Ernie Williams shipped it off down on the inside, allowed the car to drift up the racetrack. You'll see it here, and he was just trying to get back into his normal line there on the cushion. The car jumps the cushion, hits some kind of wonky bumps right here, and really upset the car, and he kind of goes for a crazy ride. Look at all 4 tires actually came off the ground at one point there. Surprising nobody else was involved in this as you see a couple drivers work their way by. But in the end, he was able to continue going. He's now at the attention of his crew in the work area. Dane Culver, Scott Thomason, Remington Wade, all down there with him as well. But we're past the halfway point, inside of 10 to go, so another single file restart. No guaranteed time for those drivers in the work area. Lights go out on the pace truck. Tim, we're in the closing laps. How about you get us going for this restart?
Alrighty, we're going to have Caden Berry lead us down the backstretch, it's going to be Matt Grimm, Justin Osborne. Then it is the 21 machine of Brandon Matson and Chase Porter. As pace truck is off, Caden Berry fires, Matt Grimm fires as well. Matt Grimm goes up high, Caden Berry low. Justin Osborne up high, Matson low. Matson takes over the third position. He goes all the way up to the wall, almost hits it. Justin Osborne slides back in third. Caden Berry running the very bottom, trying to pull away from Matt Grimm, who's staying in touch. Grimm bouncing off the wall just a little bit.
Yeah, Barry staying committed down low. White flag is in the air down the back straightaway for the final time. Barry with 3 car length advantage. Matt Grimm would have to have something special happen through 3 and 4. Barry running the inside at Knoxville will take the checkered flag here tonight. Matt Grimm will bring it home in second. Good run for him. Justin Osborne, your driver to watch tonight, Tim, brings it home in the third spot. We'll get to talk to our top 3 in a few moments after we take a look at the final results here tonight. Drivers bringing it on to the front straightaway. We got the final results pulled up again. Caden Berry wins here tonight at the Knoxville Raceway. Matt Grimm in second. Justin Osborne brings it home third. Brandon Matson, our 4th place finisher. Craig Silby, 5th. Michael Skirring, 6th. Ty Dickinson, 7th. Derek Patetti, 8th. Jeremy Christensen, 9th. Jimbo Rooney, 10th. Jack Burke in 11th. Flying Fred, 12th. Brian Kling, 13th. Nick Larry, 14th. Chase Porter, 15th. Ernie Williams Jr., 16th. Dane Culver, 17th. Remington Wade, 18th. And I believe Scott Thomason brings it home in the 19th position here tonight. We'll kick off our interviews here tonight. Hopefully get to talk to our 3rd place finisher, Justin Osborne. What a fantastic run and a great charge there from Caden Berry throughout the feature. Just stayed on the bottom, pushed forward, and found himself in the lead there on that last restart, and brings home another victory here with Reigel Promotions Esports. I don't see Justin Osborne available. Hopefully he'll be available here in a few moments.
He will not be making his rounds into the interviews tonight, he said, so we could possibly get him another time.
All right, so unfortunately not going to get to talk to our 3rd place finisher, Justin Osborne. We will talk to 2nd place finisher tonight, Matt Grimm. Hey, Matt, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. Sorry.
It's all good. Man, what a good night for you. A good solid points night here. You started up front in your feature, had a good heat race, led a whole bunch of laps there in the feature. Tried to fend off the charge from Caden Berry. What else did you need out of the race car there to kind of fend off his charge late in the running?
A mirror. That's all I needed. I don't know. I just you're sitting duck up there, and I mean this is the best run I've had at Knoxville since the dirt rework. So I guess you can't be too upset with that. It's just seems like every line I tried was the opposite of what I needed to be doing, and I don't know. One of these days I'll figure it out.
Absolutely. Can't hang your hat, though, tonight. A good, solid run for you. Tim, do you have anything to ask Matt?
Yeah, with him showing his hand on the inside, you think if you slid down and took his line away that you could have held him off the final couple laps.
I didn't really. I knew that they were down there to try and pass me, but I was also running a slider line at that point, so I didn't really know if he was hugging the bottom the whole way around or if they were cutting the corner short or if they were sliding it like I was. I didn't really know what was going on. By the time, I mean, I knew he was hugging the bottom the whole way. He was already around me, and I can't just run around the bottom behind him. And I found speed in 1 and 2 up top. I could never get the car to stay steady enough in 3 and 4 to get that run like I was getting in 1 and 2.
Well, Matt, a great run for you here tonight. Anybody you need to thank?
Oh yeah, thanks to Ben and Andrew for putting this on. Thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. Congrats to Barry. Uh, Thanks to everybody at Horizon Sim Sports, M9 Race Performance, Metcalf Cinematography, 1/8 Designs, just everybody who helps out with the team and the car and to put these shows on every week.
Absolutely. We'll let you celebrate that second place run here tonight.
Thank you guys.
All right, that was our second place finisher, Matt Grimm. Now we'll get to talk to our winner here tonight, Caden Berry. Hey, Caden, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
All right. Well, what can we say about tonight? Some craziness there in your heat race kind of set you back for the start of the feature, but you just put your head down and did what you did best, ran on the bottom, slowly but surely moved your way to the front and brought home the checkered flag here tonight.
Yeah, not the heat that obviously we were looking for. Just a little upset after what happened, but I mean, it was kind of, I think, a 50-50 deal. I mean, I was crossing over, I think Chase it was that I was battling with for, second in the heat. So once I went for the crossover, Craig was going for a slider. So, like I said, I mean, I think that was a 50-50 deal that happened there. Obviously, it was just pretty unfortunate, so it didn't set us up good for starting position in the AMA, but I knew if we, where we started 17th there, I knew all I could really do is move forward and make myself look good if I got the win, and just had to be really patient around the bottom, and we got it done.
Absolutely, you sure did here tonight. Tim, do you have anything to ask Caden?
Yeah, at the beginning you were making about 2 passes per lap, moving your way up. What was so key to that, and how hard and difficult is it to complete these passes around the bottom?
It was actually pretty difficult with how slim the tack that you had on the bottom side. I would go in the corner and there was just a whole bunch of slick, and I mean there's maybe a left front tire that you could maybe fit through the tack, and it was super thin. You just had, like I said, had to be really patient around the bottom there while they were all ripping the top. I mean, I tried the top a couple of times, it just really wasn't working for me. So I said I'm gonna do where I really, go where I really do best around Knoxville and go to the bottom again. And like I said, just had to be patient around the bottom there, and we got it done.
Absolutely, a fantastic run for you once again, Caden. Who do you need to thank here tonight?
First and foremost, I got to thank all glory to God there. So without him, I couldn't do it. Got to thank my mom and dad, my nanny and grandpa, my grandmother Cece, my Grammy Ryder and TJ. Got to thank Tim and Kevin, my brother and sister Brennan and Sierra. Got to thank all my sponsors, Granite State Blacktoppers, Drew's Powder Coating, CRC, ZMAX, Driven to Save Lives, Victor Fuel, Turn One Graphics, Ryder Family Sawmill, John Barry's Legacy Racing, and got to thank my iRacing sponsors, Team Wyobi, Cataclysm Computers, King Race Design, Speed Factory, LCJ Carpentry, Stingray Rock Tools Australia, and gotta thank you guys for putting on the awesome league.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, thanks for the kind words, Caden. Big congratulations on the win again here tonight. We'll let you celebrate it.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to conclude our interview portion of tonight's events. And going to start bringing a close here to this round at Knoxville Raceway. Any closing thoughts from you, Tim?
Yeah, it was awesome night of racing, just fantastic battles everywhere. Uh, and thanks to the chat for showing up, having a blast in there. Uh, what are your thoughts on tonight?
Oh, just a good night, great night of racing. I never expect anything different from a Reigel Promotions esports event. Always a joy to be a part of it. Up here in the booth, calling this action again, like you said. Awesome to have the chat really involved in tonight's racing, and we had some good funny moments and laughs along the way, and again, we certainly appreciate all of that. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you know each and every time we go live right here on the Buckeye Racing Network. Upcoming for us, we won't be live again till this coming Sunday night with the League of Outlaws. That'll be about 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So come on out, be a part of that with us. And again, next Monday night for the next round of the Harvest Cup, we'll be live about 8:20 Eastern Time next Monday night. Again, big thanks to all of you out there in viewerland. For Tim Henderson, I'm Tyler Bentley. Good night, everybody.